Yeah.
You can start again.
I was gonna transition that into the YCG podcast deck. I forgot what it was called.
But we already started that.
It's Friday.
Fix It Friday, yes. Oh, so
You can just keep going from wherever and I'll cut it.
okay. Welcome to YCG podcast Fix It Friday. This is Justin Bell, and I am doing a deck made by
Jay Laney.
Once again.
His original deck was a ZW, just Utopia and Utopia race spamming deck, and it featured some interesting card decks like the Armor Ninjas, Goblinberg, Shine Knight, and Trident Warrior, and some level manipulation spells and traps, and Xyz support spells and traps. And what I did when I looked over it is I took the core concept of the deck, which was to spam Utopia and ZW stuff, and I decided to tweak it a bit and make it a bit more focused towards specifically fetching Utopia from when it gets removed from play. Well, when it gets destroyed, being able to recycle it and turn it into another usable monster for pretty much free. So how the deck works is we have this handy monster that is the linchpin of the deck called ZW Ultimate Shield. As you can see, the effect is when it is normal special summon, you can target one of your banished Xyz monsters, special summon that target in face-up defense position. You can target one Utopia monster you control, equip this card to it, and it gains 2,000 defense, and you can only control one of them. So, ways to use this card in this deck. The main way you use it is you either bring it out with Summoner Monk, or you just normal summon it because its effect works when it's normal or special summoned. And when you use it, you ideally have an Xyz monster move from play by one of the key cards in the deck, which is Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. As I'm sure you know, you can only equip it to a warrior monster. It gets 300 attack. During your main phase, if it's in the graveyard, you can move and play 2 warriors to get it back. So basically, the basic flow of the deck is you do something like summon Summoner Monk, get a good monster to Xyz with like extra sword, which I run one of. When it's used for an Xyz summon, you get the Xyz monster that it's used for gains 1,000 attack. So you make a Utopia with 3,500 attack. Eventually your opponent deals with that somehow. And when they do, you have either ZW Ultimate Shield or Divine Sword Phoenix Blade or Debris Dragon. There's a lot of ways for the deck to work. How I'll choose to how it'll work is, say you want to do one of the main plays, which is just get back Utopia for free. You summon Ultimate Shield, you get back Utopia from your from your movement play after using Divine Sword to remove it from play. And once you've done that, you can overlay it for Utopia Ray, and then you have a perfectly functional 2,500 attack monster that you can use to push for. Like you could push over that, like let's say you still have the Ultimate Shield out, you can use something that like overextends like DDR or Instant Fusion. And later on in the duel you have stuff like Debris Dragon, which can just get you a run card rank 4 with Ultimate Shield. And I'm sure you've noticed like the Chaos monsters in this Ghost Garden just like lying around. And Double Lance. Double Lance is a nod to the old deck. It is a good card. It consistently gets, later on in the mid and late game, it consistently gets 1 card rank 4s, which are pretty much what the deck is all about. Ghost Garden is in there just because it's a Dark Warrior that feeds Chaos. It feeds Phoenix Blade, and it doesn't have that bad of an effect. Any attack that's directed at one of your monsters, you can redirect to it, and it has 1,900 defense, so it has reasonable defense. And when it's sent to the graveyard, by being destroyed, one face-up monster your opponent controls loses 1,000 attack, and then it's till the end phase. There's all kinds of weird plays you can do with that card. It's mostly just there because of its type and attribute, and its decent effect. And Debris Dragon, of course. So the Chaos monsters, they're important. I wasn't going to include them because they seem kind of generic, but they're in here to remove from play Utopia for ZW Ultimate Shield. Utopia is a light. most of the Xyz you're going to be making are lights. ZW Unicorn Spear, in my opinion, is one of the stronger ZW monsters, so I chose to include only that as my only other ZW card, and because of its attribute, which is light. You got a lot of light monsters. You got Tour Guide, Ghost Gardener, Chaos Sorcerer, Summoner Monk, and you have light monsters, which are just the Utopias that you're going to be summoning fairly frequently. You have Honest, ZW Unicorn Spear. That seems like a low amount of lights, but this deck summons Utopia like all day. That's pretty much it is the purpose of the deck. Instant Fusion is to turn kind of bad, mediocre hands into something to get the engine going, to get Utopia cycling through the graveyard and through the remove from play. Rhoda is just for consistency, even though it only searches out 4 cards in the deck. Well, actually 6 including that, but I guess Ghost Gardener is not that bad of a monster to search out. Since you're moving from play a lot of stuff with Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade, Tour Guide into Leviair is not that bad. It also sets off Ultimate Shield on like the off chance that it gets removed from play somehow. I like the interaction between Scrap Iron and Mirror Force. It's like when you show Scrap Iron, they try to like push through it by overextending and putting a lot of monsters on board, and then you hit them with like Mirror Force that just like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that they don't see it coming, but I feel like it has the cards have a good interaction with each other. Call the Haunted, for as Xyz deck, I feel like Call the Haunted is pretty good. There's a lot of desirable monsters you want back, like Honest, Summoner Monk, ZW Ultimate Shield, and Unicorn Sphere if you're already going and doing stuff. DDR was pretty much put in on a whim. I mean, you remove yourself from play. I mean, it's kind of like a last-ditch thing if you absolutely need to get something to go into something. Lance is like a card that's been good to me recently, and people are starting to like. It's starting to trend. People are starting to like it, and I agree that it's a really good card, and it has a lot of uses and it's very versatile. Debris Dragon, just pretty much there just to make Utopia, clarify. And that is the deck. Going into the extra deck, we have Blade Armor, Gaga, Excalibur, you know, all this. I mean, it's really small. I wish there was a way you could zoom in without me having to put like the cursor over it. But 2 Utopia Ray and 2 Utopias. My original idea was 3 of each, but that seems kind of overkill, and you can like substitute the other Warrior Xyz for Phoenix Blade. It's just that Utopia is optimal because you can overlay it for something better, and it's a light for chaos stuff. But you have other options like Papal Operative. Corn's really good when you use Extra Sword to make it. You'd be surprised how easy it is to make Shockmaster in this deck. And Excalibur helps you like do random game pushes. If the cards are right, you can go for game just by using everything. And that is pretty much the deck. I guess thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. How do I make it stop?
Stop button.
Bottom left.
Should be like a little thing superimposed on the screen, right?
Oh yeah, wow.